Two people are accused of the same thing, and you have to decide which one to believe. The first is calm, steady. They hold your gaze, they speak smoothly, they answer without hesitation, and there isn't a flicker of doubt in their voice. The second is a mess. Their hands are shaking. They stumble over their words. They can't quite look at you. They keep contradicting small details and going back to correct themselves, and their voice cracks. One of them is lying to your face. The other is telling the absolute truth. And here's the uncomfortable thing. Without even thinking about it, you've already decided. The calm one is honest. The nervous one is hiding something. It feels obvious. It feels like instinct, like reading people, like the kind of judgment any sensible person would make. It's also, very often, exactly wrong. And the reason it's wrong is not that you're a bad judge of character. It's that everyone makes this same mistake, including the professionals who are supposed to be experts at it. Judges, interviewers, even people trained specifically to detect deception. The error is baked so deep into how human beings read each other that having good intentions and paying close attention doesn't save you from it. In fact, paying closer attention to demeanor often makes it worse, because the more you study how someone is acting, the more confident you become in a judgment that was pointed the wrong way from the start. This isn't a flaw you can fix by trying harder to read people. It's a flaw in the very thing you're reading. This is the psychology of why we believe confident lies over nervous truths, one of the most consequential mistakes the human mind makes. We have a built-in detector that we trust completely to tell us who's lying. And that detector is broken in a specific, dangerous way. It doesn't actually measure honesty at all. It measures something else entirely, and then hands us the answer as if it were the truth. By the end of this, you're going to understand exactly what that detector is really measuring, and why it points you, again and again, at the wrong person. You're going to see how this single error shapes courtrooms, job interviews, and the most important conversations of your life. And here's the part that should genuinely change how you judge people. Why the very cues that make you trust someone are the easiest things in the world to fake. And the cues that make you suspicious are often the fingerprint of someone telling the painful truth. So let's solve the mystery. Why does the calm liar beat the nervous truth teller every time? Hold that question, because the answer is hiding in a confusion your brain makes without ever telling you. Start with how you actually decide whether to believe someone. You like to think you weigh the facts, the evidence, the logic of what they're saying. And sometimes you do. But long before any of that, your brain is reading something much faster and much more primitive. Their demeanor. How they carry themselves. Are they calm or rattled? Confident or hesitant? Smooth or stumbling? Do they hold eye contact or look away? Your brain takes all of these signals and feeds them into a single, fast judgment. Trustworthy or shifty? Honest or hiding something? And here is the specific rule your brain follows, the rule that ruins everything. It treats calm, confident, fluent behavior as a sign of honesty, and nervous, hesitant, fidgety behavior as a sign of lying. Steady eye contact reads as nothing to hide. Avoided eye contact reads as guilt. A smooth, certain answer reads as truth. A shaky, stumbling one reads as deception. This feels like common sense. It's the basis of how almost everyone judges almost everyone. And it is fundamentally, catastrophically flawed. Because here's the thing your brain refuses to understand. Those behaviors, the nervousness, the shaking, the broken eye contact, the stumbling, are not signs of lying. They are signs of feeling scrutinized, signs of fear, signs of being under pressure and afraid of the outcome. And honest people feel all of those things just as intensely as liars do, often more. This is the confusion at the heart of everything. Your brain treats anxiety as if it were guilt. But anxiety and guilt are completely different things. Anxiety is what a person feels when they're afraid. Afraid of being judged, afraid of the stakes, afraid of not being believed. And an innocent person, accused of something they didn't do, is often terrified. Precisely because they're innocent. Precisely because they have everything to lose and the truth is their only defense and they're watching you not believe them. That fear produces every single classic sign of lying. The shaking hands, the cracking voice, the desperate, scattered attempt to explain. The honest person looks guilty not because they did anything wrong, but because they're frightened of not being believed. You might wonder why your brain ever settled on such a terrible rule. Part of it is that the rule contains a grain of truth that makes it feel reliable. Liars sometimes do get nervous, especially clumsy or low-stakes liars, especially children. So the cue works just often enough to convince you it works in general. But it fails exactly where it matters most, with the practiced liar who has learned to stay calm, and with the honest person under real pressure who can't. The rule catches the amateurs and misses the professionals, while punishing the sincere. And there's a cultural layer on top. We're taught from childhood that look me in the eye means tell me the truth, that fidgeting means hiding something, that a steady voice means a clean conscience. These are folk beliefs, repeated everywhere, that feel like wisdom and are mostly fiction. We inherited a broken rule and then spent our lives being told it was sound judgment. And now look at the liar. A skilled liar, or even just a calm one, feels none of that fear. They're not anxious because to them, this is not a moment of terror. It's a performance they've prepared, or a situation that simply doesn't rattle them. So they're smooth, steady. They hold your gaze easily, because holding eye contact is trivial when you feel no shame. They answer without hesitation, because they already know what they're going to say. Every signal your brain reads as honesty, the confident liar produces effortlessly. Not because they're telling the truth, but because lying doesn't cost them anything emotionally. So watch what your broken detector does. It looks at the terrified, innocent person and sees all the signs of guilt. It looks at the calm, guilty person and sees all the signs of honesty. And it confidently points you at the wrong one. You believe the liar and condemn the truth-teller. And you feel certain you've read the situation correctly because the cues all lined up. They just lined up backwards. And here's a finding that should demolish your faith in reading people. A person's demeanor is largely a fixed trait, almost completely independent of whether they're actually being honest. Some people simply have an honest-seeming way about them, open, warm, steady. And they look trustworthy whether they're telling the truth or lying through their teeth. Other people have an awkward, shifty, nervous demeanor baked into their personality. They look like they're hiding something even when they're being scrupulously honest, even when they have nothing whatsoever to hide. These honest-looking and dishonest-looking demeanors barely track actual truthfulness at all. Which means when you judge someone's honesty by how they come across, you're mostly just measuring their personality, their baseline anxiety, their comfort with being watched, and calling that a verdict on their character. The shifty-seeming honest person gets doubted their whole life. The smooth-seeming liar gets believed their whole life. And neither one's demeanor had anything to do with whether they were telling the truth in any given moment. There's a cruel extra twist buried in here. Liars often believe their nervousness is leaking out, that you can see right through them, but it usually shows far less than they fear. And honest people, terrified of being doubted, often believe their sincerity is obvious, but their fear masks it, making them look exactly like the liar they're afraid of being mistaken for. The inner experience and the outer signal come completely apart in both directions, which is a big part of why reading people from the outside is so hopeless. Let me show you how this plays out, because the stakes get very high very fast. Take the courtroom. A witness or a defendant takes the stand, innocent, and they're terrified. Their whole future hangs on being believed, in a hostile room, under aggressive questioning. So they sweat, they stammer, their eyes dart. Their story comes out shaky and disordered because fear scrambles the mind. And the jury, watching, thinks, "Look how nervous they are. They must be lying." Meanwhile, a guilty but composed person delivers their false account smoothly, makes steady eye contact, and the jury thinks, "So calm, so consistent, clearly telling the truth." People have been disbelieved, and worse, because their fear of not being believed made them look exactly like what they were afraid of being taken for. The demeanor that should have earned them compassion earned them condemnation instead. And juries are encouraged to do exactly this, to watch the witness's demeanor, to weigh whether they seem credible, to factor in how they carried themselves on the stand. It sounds reasonable. It's actually instructing people to use the broken detector and trust its verdict. The shaky, sweating, innocent witness loses credibility for the very fear that their innocence and the high stakes produced, while the composed, well-coached liar gains it. Decisions of enormous weight, guilt, freedom, sometimes life itself, get tilted by a reading of demeanor that has no reliable connection to the truth. It is one of the quiet scandals of how human institutions judge honesty. We have built our most serious systems of judgment partly on a cue that doesn't work. This goes even darker in interrogation rooms. Investigators are often trained to read nervousness as deception. And so an innocent person, frightened, exhausted, and desperate under hours of accusatory questioning, displays every nervous tell and gets read as guilty. The interrogation then intensifies, because the questioners are now certain they've got their liar, which terrifies the innocent person further, which makes them look guiltier still. It's a feedback loop built entirely on the false belief that anxiety equals guilt. And it has, in real and documented cases, helped produce false confessions. Innocent people so worn down, so certain they won't be believed no matter what they say, that they confess to things they didn't do, just to make the ordeal stop. Meanwhile, a calm, practiced, guilty person can sail through the same questioning looking cooperative and credible. The very tool meant to find liars systematically targets the frightened and the innocent, because it's measuring fear and calling it guilt. Take the job interview. Two candidates. One is a polished, confident self-promoter who exaggerates and embellishes without a trace of hesitation, because lying about themselves costs them nothing. The other is honest, including about their weaknesses, and gets visibly nervous because they care so much about the outcome. Guess who tends to get hired? The smooth exaggerator reads as competent and trustworthy. The nervous, honest one reads as unsure, maybe even shady. The smooth exaggerator reads as competent and trustworthy. The nervous, honest one reads as unsure, maybe even shady. The interview rewards the confident liar and punishes the anxious truth-teller. And everyone walks away thinking they made a sound judgment of character. Take dating, where this quietly steers who we fall for. The smooth, confident charmer who makes effortless eye contact and never seems rattled reads as honest and secure, when that exact smoothness can be the hallmark of someone who lies easily, manipulates comfortably, and feels no anxiety about either. Meanwhile, the person who gets nervous and tongue-tied because they genuinely like you, because it matters to them, reads as awkward or even shifty, when their nerves are actually a sign of sincerity, of how much they care. So people are drawn again and again to the confident operator and overlook the nervous, sincere one, and then wonder why the charming person turned out to be a liar and the awkward one turned out to be the most honest partner they ever could have had. The demeanor that attracts us is the one easiest to fake. The demeanor that puts us off is often the one that can't be faked at all. Take your own relationships, which is where this cuts deepest. You confront someone you love about something. If they're innocent, but the accusation wounds them, they may react with exactly the flustered, defensive, emotional response your brain reads as guilt, when really, it's the response of someone hurt that you'd even think it of them. And if they're guilty but practiced, they may stay calm and reassuring, looking you right in the eye, and you walk away comforted. The honest hurt reads as a lie. The smooth lie reads as honesty. And trust gets given and withdrawn in exactly the wrong directions. Take parenting, where this plays out painfully. A parent confronts a child about something. The honest child, frightened of getting in trouble even though they did nothing wrong, gets flustered, looks down, stammers, can't explain themselves clearly. And the parent thinks, "You're lying. Look at you." Meanwhile, the child who actually did it but is a smoother operator looks the parent calmly in the eye and denies it convincingly. So the honest child gets punished for their nerves, and the dishonest one gets believed. And the child learns a terrible lesson, that telling the truth nervously gets you in trouble, while lying with confidence gets you off. We can, without meaning to, train children to become better, calmer liars, and to distrust their own honest instincts. All because we mistook a frightened child's nerves for guilt. The same broken detector that sends innocent adults to prison teaches kids at the dinner table that confidence beats honesty. Every one of these is the same broken detector, measuring fear and calling it guilt, measuring composure and calling it honesty. Which brings us to the twist, and it should permanently change how you read people. The cues you have trusted your entire life to spot a liar, the nervousness, the fidgeting, the broken eye contact, the stumbling, are not signs of lying. They never were. They are signs of feeling scrutinized and afraid, which honest people feel just as much as liars, and frequently more. You have been carrying around a guilt detector that actually measures anxiety. And because anxiety and guilt are different things, your detector reliably catches the wrong people, the frightened innocent, instead of the calm guilty. And here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you. The demeanor that reassures you, the confidence, the smoothness, the steady eye contact, is the single easiest thing in the world to fake. Anyone can practice it. Con artists master it. Manipulators wear it like a uniform. It costs nothing to project calm certainty when you feel no shame. So the exact signal your brain treats as proof of honesty is the signal a dishonest person can produce most easily. Meanwhile, the signal that alarms you, visible anxiety, is often what raw sincerity actually looks like under pressure. Because the people who care most about the truth are the ones most frightened of not being believed. You have it precisely backwards. You trust the thing that's easy to fake, and you distrust the thing that's hard to fake. The nervous person, shaking and stumbling because the truth matters so much to them, is showing you something a smooth liar would never bother to show. That they care, desperately, whether you believe them. That visible desperation to be believed is, if anything, a mark in their favor. Because the people who don't care whether you believe them are exactly the ones who lie without a flicker. So what do you actually do with this? The first thing is to consciously disconnect nervousness from lying in your own mind. This is hard because the link is deep and automatic, but it's the whole game. When you see someone shaking, stammering, avoiding your eyes, struggling to get their story straight, you must stop your brain from concluding they're lying. Instead, ask the real question. Is this person nervous because they're guilty, or nervous because they're afraid of not being believed? Those look identical from the outside, and the second one is incredibly common among honest people. Nervousness is not evidence of deception. It's evidence of fear, and fear has many innocent causes. Strip it out of your judgment entirely. It's noise, and you've been treating it as signal. The hardest part is that this will feel wrong at first, because your gut will keep insisting that the fidgeting person is hiding something. Let your gut insist and overrule it anyway. You're not ignoring information. You're refusing to be misled by something that was never information in the first place. The second thing is to be actively suspicious of the demeanor that reassures you. When someone is suspiciously smooth, perfectly calm under pressure, flawlessly confident, holding eye contact a beat too well, never rattled by anything, do not let that lower your guard. Confidence is not honesty. It is, at most, evidence that the person is comfortable, which could mean they're telling the truth, or could mean they're a practiced liar for whom this costs nothing. The calm is not the answer. The calm is just calm. Treat polished, frictionless confidence not as proof of honesty, but as exactly the kind of performance you should look behind. This matters most precisely when the stakes are highest, because high-stakes situations are exactly where you'll encounter people who've practiced their delivery. The salesperson closing a big deal, the person talking their way out of trouble, the manipulator who wants something from you. These are the people most likely to have a smooth, rehearsed, reassuring demeanor, because they've done this before, and it works. So the more important the decision, the more wary you should be of being soothed by someone's confidence, and the more you should insist on looking at what's actually behind it. Smoothness is a skill, not a virtue, and it can be learned by anyone. The most dangerous person in the room is rarely the nervous one. It's the one who's far too comfortable. And the third thing is the only thing that actually works. Judge the content, not the delivery. The real test of whether someone is telling the truth is not how they say it. It's what they say. Does the story hold together? Does it match the facts you can check? Is it consistent over time? Does it account for the evidence? Does it make sense? Truth lives in the content and the evidence, not in the steadiness of a voice or the steadiness of a gaze. So train yourself to look straight past the demeanor, past the confidence, and past the nerves alike, to the substance underneath. What is actually being claimed, and does it hold up? That's the only question that tracks the truth. Everything else is theater your brain mistakes for evidence. In practice, this means asking different questions than the ones your gut wants to ask. Not, does this person seem trustworthy, but does this story actually fit the facts? Not, are they nervous, but are the specifics consistent and verifiable? When something matters, slow down and check what can be checked, instead of leaning on the feeling their demeanor gave you. And notice that this protects you in both directions. It stops you from convicting the honest, nervous person, and it stops you from being charmed by the confident liar, because neither nerves nor confidence get a vote anymore. Only the content does. It's slower and less satisfying than trusting your gut, because your gut delivers an instant, confident verdict, and this delivers a careful, tentative one. But your gut's instant, confident verdict is exactly the thing that's been pointed the wrong way your whole life. On anything that matters, trade the fast feeling for the slow facts. Because here is the truth underneath all of it. We like to believe we can read a liar, that we have a gut instinct for deception, that we can just tell. But that instinct is built on a confusion, mistaking anxiety for guilt and calm for honesty. And it points us, with total confidence, at exactly the wrong people. The frightened honest get punished. The composed dishonest get trusted. And the cruelest part is that it falls hardest on the people who care the most. The sincere, the conscientious, the ones who get nervous precisely because the truth matters so much to them. So the next time someone's shaking hands and stumbling words make you sure they're lying, stop. That trembling might not be guilt at all. It might be the sound of someone telling you the truth and being terrified that you won't believe them. And maybe hold on to this, too, for your own sake. If you're someone who gets nervous under scrutiny, who flushes and stammers and looks away exactly when you most need to seem credible, That does not mean you seem dishonest because you are dishonest. It means you have the demeanor of a person who cares, and the world's broken detector has probably misjudged you for it more than once. Knowing that won't stop your nerves, but it might soften the shame of them. Your anxiety was never evidence against your character. And the more people who understand that nervousness is fear, not guilt, the fewer honest, frightened people will be condemned for the crime of caring whether they're believed. You can be one of those people, for others and for yourself. Start by extending, to the next trembling, stumbling person in front of you, the very benefit of the doubt you would desperately want extended to you in their place. Now, here's something to carry into the next one. We've just seen that the cues you use to spot a liar are pointing you at the wrong people. But it goes deeper and more humbling than that. The uncomfortable truth that decades of research keeps confirming is that you can't reliably detect lies at all. Not from nervousness, not from body language, not from any of the tells you're sure you can read. When people are actually tested on it, the average person spots a lie at a rate barely better than flipping a coin, while being completely, unshakably convinced they're good at it. And the people who are most confident in their lie-detecting ability are often no better than anyone else, sometimes worse, because their confidence just makes them commit harder to their wrong guesses. Why you're so bad at telling when someone is lying is the next thing we need to talk about. For now, I want one honest answer. Have you ever believed a smooth, confident person and later found out they were lying straight to your face? Or have you ever disbelieved someone who turned out to be telling the painful truth just because something about them seemed off? Tell me what it cost you. Because almost all of us have trusted the wrong demeanor at least once, and recognizing it is the first step toward never being fooled by calm again. And while you're at it, ask the harder question too. How many honest, nervous people might you have quietly written off as liars simply because their fear looked like guilt? That one's worth sitting with.